Hello, welcome everyone to this episode of Inslee Insights. You're joined with me, Hamad Mirza, and with James from Troon. So we're very happy to have James on with us today, and we'll be discussing a whole bunch of stuff with him. So without further ado, James, over to yourself.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming on this
Yeah,
session.
thanks for having me. It's nice to be here. So we are Commercial Risks UK Limited, trading as Troon. Been trading 23 years, quite a long time. And I started on my own. So it was a decision I made basically to start the company. I was quite young, quite naive. Didn't have a lot of money, didn't have any money really.
How old were you, if you
I was
don't mind me asking?
30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I didn't really have a clue. So I'd had enough where I was working, and I decided I'll do it on my own. And I did have this skill. I believed I had the skill set. So I went to a friend of mine in Lehman Street, and she had an office. I took the office. I did have a loan, but that I didn't in the end take it. So I ended up living on starting a business on my salary, my final salary, which was a normal salary. And I thought, well, I can do it. It's tough in the early days, but that's where it all started.
Amazing. And then if you were to maybe rewind 10 years before that, so when you were 20, for example, what were you doing then?
Well, I started a small broker in Croydon, and that was a specialist, like a niche broker, motor trade, carpet galleries. We did a few unusual commercial risks. And I went to Royal Sun Alliance. I didn't like it. It wasn't me. It was more of a composite insurer. So it wasn't very enjoyable. And then after that, I went to the AA. And the AA, there was 4,000 staff. I was number one salesman for 5 years. Wow. So, and I had a retention rate of about 90%. I didn't lose anything. So I was basically just good at finding out what people wanted. What do you want? What do you need? Do you want it this way? You want it that way? So whatever insurance they wanted, I would get them. So I quickly went up to manager. And then at just early 20s, I was given London Bridge branch. It's about 15 staff. And then it built up from there. Then I decided, right, I'm going to go commercial because that was a lot of private lines. I wanted to just do solely commercial. And I ended up doing scaffolders. After that, went to a company in, Feltham, Middlesex.
Yeah.
Did scaffolders, so high risk liability. And I thought that was nice. So that got me into talking to more people who were more like me. So they wanted to do something tricky. Mm-hmm. I like difficult risks. I like something that's got something to it. And then after that, went to North London to Alpha, and we insured, again, high net worth, so people like Dr. Gabbana, things like that. So it's a really nice clients.
Yeah.
Ofsted, we did a scheme for them. So we'd come up with niche ideas.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of immediately prior to me starting commercial risks.
Amazing. So you've had, you could say that kind of prior to commercial risks, you've had a lot of varied experience, but some of it is kind of being a broker, selling as well, and then obviously you've gone on to do the underwriting side of things with commercial risks.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Do you have a favourite then out of those two or three things, if you'd had to pick one?
I like meeting people, so I do like the kind of meeting a client, a direct client. So if I ever got a chance, I'd go out on the road. I go and meet people. I saw a lot of direct people with contractors and things like scaffolders. I meet them all the time. That was my main thing at one point when I was at Helm. So prior to starting the company.
Yeah.
And then, after that, walking into London, I mean, it's a completely different kettle of fish because you are in the square mile. So you find a lot of friends, your neighbours, and they're all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So you kind of, you network.
Yeah, and I guess for a lot of people, including myself, really, when you look at insurance from the outside in, it's quite difficult to actually know what's going on.
Yeah.
So if you maybe had to describe what it's like on the inside to people, or one thing that they wouldn't really understand looking from the outside in, what would you say that is?
Well, you can do 20 years of insurance and not know insurance.
Wow.
Because a lot of people pigeonhole themselves into one thing. So you do one specific thing. Yeah. So I never wanted to do that because I did it before. Did it with scaffolders, and then one insurer will come in at a better rate than you, and they'll just clean up. So I never thought to do that again. So the main thing I wanted to do is never be boring, if you like.
Yeah.
So whenever I had an opportunity to start a company, I did. And then 10 years later, I wanted to be a Lloyd's broker, and I did. I didn't ask for any money from anyone. I did it all myself. And then a year after that, I wanted Troon, because I thought if I keep doing the same thing, I'm going to get bored. Yeah. And then I opened commercial risk in film a little bit after that, so that I could understand different things. So we insure anything. So there's nothing we don't do apart from aviation. So I've insured people's voices, dogs, Rapid Ranger with a greyhound, things like that. So we do anything unusual. So if I get a phone call and someone says to me, do you want to do this? Yes. It's not our bread and butter, don't get me wrong. So our bread and butter is specialising in difficult insurance, London market. So that's what we do. So that's why we're Lloyd's broker. That's why we are underwriters as well. Yeah. So I don't like it to get boring, because I think insurance could be boring if you let it be. But it's like life in general, really.
Yeah. No, that's very inspirational. Like you said, you could be in insurance for 20 years and still not know it, because if you stick to one line or one product line, for example, it can...
But when I started commercial risks, the London market is a completely different language.
Really?
So everyone would talk about slips, LPANs, VRIs, VVRIs.
Yeah.
What is this? What I'm hearing? I thought I knew everything about insurance. No, you know nothing. So you walk into the London market completely oblivious of what it is. Then you go to Lloyd's building, and it all starts to unravel, and you start to learn it. So I was always keen to learn. And this is why after so many years, 10 years, I thought, I'm going to have my own Lloyd's broker. Yeah, because I want to know everything about it. So I did all the exams, and then just walked around learning it, talking to people, what you do. And then you get people just from, coal mines in Brazil and stuff like this, and you think, that's interesting. So anything niche, I like to jump on it. So I had a call once from a guy in Miami, and he wanted to start up Ubra, not Uber, Ubra. So United Boat Riders Association.
Oh, right, okay.
He's mental, absolutely mental. So I thought, well, you know what I'll do is I'll humour him, and I'll just keep talking to him, because no one else wanted to talk to him. So he tried Marsh, he tried everyone. Same, this is how we do most of our business. And he said, James, just come over. So we went over to Miami, me and one of the other directors.
That must have been fun.
Yeah, fully expensive. He just said, I'll pay everything, because he was like multi-millionaire and whatever. So I said, yeah, come out. So we went out and met him. It did about 6 days, or 5 or 6 days. And it's hilarious. But we had the best time. And it turns out that he retired at 32.
Oh, okay.
And he got multi-millions. He didn't want to do money. So he was coming up with random ideas, and he called it Ubra, so that he would get the attention from the press.
Yeah.
So I'll go. To that type of meeting, I'll go. Same as film, I'll do it. I think I've created commercial risks in film in 5 minutes.
Wow.
Because I sat down with Andy Loveday, who's a good friend of mine, and he said, why don't we do a company? Why don't we do film insurance together? Because he's a film director, producer. I said, if you want. So we was with one of our friends, and they went to the toilet. By the time I come back, we'd create commercial risk in film.
Wow.
And then from there, we went all around the world with him, kind of to all the different festivals, and did everything.
And you could say that, just touching on the subject of film then, and insurance in film, you could say that that's really niche, but I guess it's kind of very much a who you know kind of industry. Because if you know producers and people in film, then it's easier to network. And it's probably a little bit less competitive then, because of who you know. It's easier to obviously build those bridges and connections, right? Yeah,
but the same as insurance, it's a very niche. So when you meet the people, you meet 30 people, and you've got film producers, actors, all different types of people, whatever it is, special effects. So I got to know some very good friends of mine now, special effects people, so you kind of learn what they do, and you say, well, what are you doing? But the main thing, I suppose, is the investors, because you have to have money to burn. You have to throw it away, because realistically, you're investing in a film that might make no money. And normally UK films do bomb out, So
independent films and
it's very hard. Apart from 4 weddings and a funeral, how many British films make significant money? There's not that many. So to invest, and you invest in 5 or 6 films at a time. So when you speak to the investors, it's a different game altogether. So you might have a steel factory, or so you're actually then meeting other people.
Yeah.
So there's any time there's kind of 30 of us going out to Marbella or LA or whatever, and then you know them from last time, and then you meet other film people in the industry as well.
makes it easier. It's a bit of a multiplier, like a snowball effect. You meet one person, then you meet another, etc. Yeah.
But they say, oh, your insurance, you're so boring. They see me and they say, oh my God, I thought you were a bouncer or a doorman, you know. I was like, I thought you might think that. But yeah, you're not, you know, at the end of the day, you know what you're doing. And to get a package in insurance, yes, you have to understand it because there's different things in film. So, but again, it's a very small amount of what we do. It's not what we do. You know, what we do, that's kind of the fun bit, if you like, because it's more, you're meeting interesting people, you're meeting investors, you're meeting, you know, so it's a very nice networking thing. Not our bread and butter. Our bread and butter is specialising in typically UK property and casualty.
Yeah. Amazing. And then if you had to take the world of insurance, but also your kind of life outside of that, what's one of the most important kind of life lessons that you've learned? And I think you're a really interesting person to ask because obviously you've had a lot of varied experience in and out of insurance.
The thing is, don't be afraid of a challenge. You know, at the end of the day, when I started the company, I had no clue. If you said to me, do it now, I'd say, are you mental? You know, I think I literally had £1,000 in the bank. You know, so it was literally, I have no money.
Wow.
So I had to make 150 calls a day. Because I'd already been a wholesale broker on high risk liability, I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
But I had to make 150 calls a day because I had no money. So I had to pay the rent because I had a new office, I had my mortgage and a new baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't sit there and not pay the rent.
Yeah.
So it kind of hit me like a brick because I did go in business with someone else. He wasn't the person. He was a bit of a shark. So I said, well, I'll do it on my own. And then he walked off I didn't have any money. So literally I had very, very little time to make a deal. So I sat there after 3 weeks making calls and I got 54 presentations in one day.
Wow.
Because I know what to say and I know what I'm doing. Do you see what I mean? So it just by chance I found I had these presentations, so probably about 80 or 90 by now, so I had loads stacks. And I thought I've had enough sitting there and the fax was going because fax machine, no emails. Yeah. I thought that's a lot of stuff I've got here.
Yeah.
But because you're London market, you think, where am I going to go? I'm a brand new person. Who's going to give me an agency and things like this? So you think this is quite difficult. So I found a letter in the street on the way home. So it's about 8 at night. I was working long hours. I was the next door, and so I picked it up. I took it up to him. Very friendly broker, and he went, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm next door. I'm about 100 risk or nearly 100 risk now next door.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to do with him." So I brought him into him, and then what I thought I'd be turning over a year, I was doing a month.
Wow.
So straight away, bang, here, I can do all this. And he's going, "Gee, that's nice." So he was going, "Oh, that's nice, that's crap. Nice. Let's do this." So I partnered up with my neighbour.
Office neighbour.
Yeah, office neighbour. And from there, that was it. So I was set. So in the end, I never had to have a loan. I never went in debt. I managed that £1,000 was lucky to keep me going.
Very inspirational. Imagine trying to do that today.
That's what I'm saying. I must have been mental, but somehow I'm still here.
Yeah. Amazing.
I've got a very profitable business now. So sometimes you've got to take a chance. Try and make it educated chance because you could end up with it on your face, and I've seen that. But the harder, if you think you're up against people, you have to push and you have to get yourself back in the game, so don't give up, just go for it.
Amazing. Wow. Very inspirational.
Yeah, thanks.
And then if you were to kind of zoom out once more, James, outside of insurance, what are kind of some of your hobbies or passions outside of your kind of day-to-day?
I did taekwondo kickboxing for 12 years.
Nice.
So I did 6 in the group and I did 6 on my own, 6 years. So I'd get up I'd be in there at 6 in the morning type of thing, 6:30, and do a routine for 2 hours, do 2 or 3 times a week. So I was quite dedicated into kind of keeping fit at that time. And I did a few competitions and things like this. So most people don't know that. It's very good for controlling, your work-life balance. Yeah, to actually blow off some steam, because when you do things like that, you have to put some energy in.
It's yin and yang, isn't it? It's one extreme to the other.
It's not playing darts. It's not one of them things that you're not going to ever get fit, or, I support Arsenal or whatever. Yes, I like a bit of football, but I think that at that time, I wanted to get fitter.
Yeah.
Because anyone in insurance would tell you, you could sit there for 10 hours. I don't know, a lot of businesses, white collar, you could sit there for 10 hours and not move. So it's good to burn off a bit of steam.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's very good. And then obviously, if we now dive into a little bit more about Troon
Yeah.
and commercial risks, you've obviously you've explained some of the origin story already, which is very, very inspirational.
Yeah.
And how you kind of came about to kind of found the company, and the resources that you had to have it with, which is amazing. So obviously, your kind of Troon itself is an MGA in the UK market. What are your kind of core specialties, and what sets you apart from other MGAs?
The thing is, it's more about the Lloyd's broker at the moment, because the thing we wanted to do, and the things we always have done, is be better than our competition. Yeah, you speak to anyone, there's a lot of lazy people in about, so that's great for me, because these companies are getting bigger, richer, fast, yeah, but we're still small independent. So they leave a lot of stuff, a lot of doors open. So we walk in and just go, and we've had some big companies, they've had a risk trying to place it for 3 weeks. We would do it in a day, because we're just more eager, quicker, better relationships, and just get it done.
Faster, basically.
Quite really quick.
Yeah.
So what we wanted for Troon, and the reason we've set up the portal, is because we wanted it to be different to anything else. Yeah, so make it different, make it quick, make it good. So Troon took a backseat whilst we're doing this, because we had a previous system was rubbish. Yeah, so you couldn't really do much with it. The Troon portal, what it does is it lets you take whatever risk, property and liability, put it in our system. So it's £100 million building, just out of fire. Yeah, what you're going to get out of QB and people like that? No thanks. Yeah, so I've just put the whole thing in. It took me 20 minutes. I don't care.
Wow.
It's your fault. Yeah, but what ours does is it gives us an ability to quote it. So it's a £12 million building. Yeah, we can do it. Yeah, we can do that for you, and you can print off the documents yourself. So you put all the information in. We look at it and we go, yeah, it's bad, but I can do something with it. Yeah, or it's bad, no, I don't want it. But what it also does, it flips it over. So if for example, there's no way we can do this one, it's just something really wrong with it, you might need a lot of different insurers. It might just not be us, our cup of tea. So what we do is we actually print off a London market submission from your input. So you've not wasted any time. Yeah, we know what it is. It's got a fire alarm, it's got a red car alarm, it's had a load of claims, it's had this, it's had that, it's got 4 locations. So our presentation comes out really nice. It's got all the information because you put it in, and it won't let you carry on. Yeah, so got an alarm. What type of alarm? I don't know. Well, you're going to find out because it won't let you submit it. Yeah. So you find out the alarm, and then you filled it all in. Took you a day or whatever because you had to keep going back and whatever. We don't like it, but we know a man that does. So we print it off. We've got 55 insurers. Yeah. 3 of them will do it. Yeah, so we're going to speak to them, say, got one here. They know we're not going to come to them with anything vanilla. It's going to have something. It might just be too big. It might just be there's something not quite right about it. So we can put 3 insurers, because we're Lloyd's brokers, we know how to do slips and schedule business. So we then put it to them and say, right, you do 33, I'll do 33, you do 33. That's it. Done. Split the risk, basically. Yeah, and they'll go, yeah, all right. Or I'll do 20, or I could do 50 in that. I can do all of it. Yeah, if you want to do all of it, do all of it. But you've actually got better than a fact find. Yeah. Because there are all the questions. And we'll chuck in a couple of pictures. Whatever else we've got, whatever else you load into the portal, we'll use. Yeah. But you've got a full submission. So you're not going to ask me for anything. Realistically, it's all there. Anything an underwriter wants to know should be in front of you. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. And there's nothing like that I know of in the market. Even if you ain't got to do it as quick as we are. And I think it's about relationships as well. Yeah. But I've not heard anything quite like it. And I took the inspiration from just the sheer frustration I had of using these stupid portals, that they make you fill in, and you're sitting there for 25 minutes, filling it all in. You even get to the end, you press submit to underwrite, and just goes regret. Why? Yeah. Trade. If mate, you could have told me this from 2 minutes in. Why are you telling me now? Yeah. So I've just spent another 25 minutes doing it. It's rubbish. But at least if you go on mine, 55 people will have the opportunity to see that risk that I know. Yeah.
You're saving a lot of time then, basically.
Yeah, you don't need to shop around. You just come to me. Yeah. And we will do it. So we either do it in-house for you. Yeah. And you can print off documents straight away. I've got a few people that will follow me automatically, virtually, that people will know, all A-rated security. So if I do 6 million, someone else does 6 million, and someone else does 6 million, I can still use the portal to give you your papers. Yeah. I don't need to get a slip. I can still do bank slip on the end of my papers, and you can still print them off.
And would it only be brokers that come to you, or would you get the kind of the end person whose property it is to come to you as well, or would
No,
they
we don't
use
open to the public. But
Yeah, okay.
if we've got a client who I've got one at the moment, and that she's a friend of a builder
Yeah.
that we use sometimes, and he said, "Oh, she's got a big house and it's all unoccupied." I'm like, fine. So I'll just get one of my lot to ring her up, take the details, put it in the portal for her,
Yeah.
and then print it off.
But that's more of an exception. The main kind of
I don't think we're ready to open to the public because it's a bit messy. And to be honest, I'd rather people go on a portal who know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It's all clearly explained.
Yeah.
But again, I think general public stuff. I do have some really nice direct clients.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But I can't see them.
Yeah. And it sounds to me like, obviously, you've referenced the portal quite a bit.
Yeah.
And obviously the way kind of things were transacted maybe in the past, if you go back 10, 15, 20 years ago, were probably very different to what it was today.
Oh, yeah.
So
we just about had Google at that point, you know. But now, I mean, I'm working on the AI bit. That's the next thing to come. So you email me a presentation, it goes straight into the portal. So there's no waiting. Yeah. And then it takes all the information, crunches it, throws it into mine. Yeah, so as long as you fill in your own generic ones, we're rather pre-agreed, because otherwise you ain't going to have all the questions.
Yeah.
But it will take that, transpose that. So that's Word, Excel, and handwritten. So
have you tried it yet?
I've viewed it, I've seen it, and it ain't ready because it still needs a lot of work, and I don't want to jump into something that needs work. It will need someone to polish it back, big time. 2-3 months, someone's sitting there crunching it. It's ready. Yeah. I could use it now.
But you're open to try it, which is
I'll use it when they've done the work. I think there's one of them things. I'm not going to be the guinea pig for 3 months.
Yeah.
The AI things should, in theory, no. AI is AI. For me, AI, I shouldn't have to help it. It should know.
It's one of those things, I think the more that you use it, the better the end result is, obviously.
It will come and it'll be huge.
Yeah.
It's like your motor insurance. I'm trying to insure a car at the minute. Yeah. So I go onto We Buy Any Car, or not We Buy Any Car, Money Supermarket, and I fill it all in. I got quite, I think that's rubbish. I'm paying that, and then I have to go on to Go Compare. I mean, oh, crikey. So what might and there's so many in there. Saga, AA. So this one would just. My idea is to kind of drop it in. I've done it once, so you get one broker who just goes, right, watch this, boom, and it does all the aggregators together. So in theory, that's what my pool is meant to do.
Yeah.
So it brings in various insurers outside of wasting my time with your panel, because it's just their panel of insurers, you see. So this just opens it up.
So that'll be the next bit of evolution then for...
Yeah, it'll come. Hopefully before the end of the year. So I'm definitely want it. I'm definitely going to do it. But I just don't want to commit, because we're busy, at the end of the day, I don't want to commit 2 months to doing the AI bit, when I can see that all it is, say, for example, a good example, someone sent me a submission, instead of putting policyholder, they put client, or they put company name, all these different things. Someone has to tell the AI currently that these are the different things you have to call that box.
Yeah. There's templates as well, though.
It could even just go like that. So I could just go, oh, I see what you mean now. Do you see what I mean? But the demonstration I got was fantastic, but it just lacks that.
There's nuances, isn't there?
Yeah. And when you start doing that, it's like anything you do in business, try to build a website, it's your final push. The last 10% is the most painful. Mm-hmm. You think, oh, I'm just about to open this, I'm just about to launch this website. All cool. Thank God I didn't, because I missed.
There's always a bit of hesitation, isn't there? You want to get things right before you roll it out. So.
Yeah. Same with a brochure, same with anything you do in business. It has to be right, because you only get one chance. Once it's out there in the public domain, you embarrass yourself if it don't work. So if I'm telling everyone I've got AI, fantastic, and it's not, because it didn't actually work. What it put client name under claims.
You need to get it to you need to get it to work for your use case, right? And it'll take a little bit of time to get there. Okay. That makes sense. And obviously, before you even had the portal, you probably you earlier in the conversation you mentioned fax as well. So obviously, the leading up to obviously using the portal or getting a portal, for example, like via Inslee. That's it's quite a challenge, isn't it? Because obviously, it's obviously for me, I predominantly, marketing. So for me, it's like
Yeah.
I see things through stages.
Yeah.
So, we had the dot-com bubble, we had kind of the birth of the internet. We had a lot of internet businesses,
Yeah.
PayPal, etc., eBay, whatever it might be, Amazon.
Yeah.
And then the next wave of it really was social media, for example. So Facebook and Instagram,
Yeah.
LinkedIn even as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what was it like before you had the portal? What was it like to kind of transact business or work with brokers or your
Yeah.
direct customers before that?
Well, if you look at Lloyd's, they go back to the quail pen, don't they?
Yeah.
So you're scratching.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I call it scratch.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
going to go and get scratched because literally you hear that noise. Yeah.
That's very old school.
That's
isn't
going
it?
old school. It's been about 300 years.
Yeah.
So if you want to go right back, I could insure you, for example, your life. That's how it all started, wasn't it? I could insure anything. So if you're walking there and you look a bit ropey and you're about to get on a boat, I'll take out insurance policy on this life.
Yeah.
And you could do that. So
very old industry, isn't it, when you think of it like that? Yeah.
And then you had to have a financial interest. When you introduce that, you've got to justify why you're trying to insure him. Why are you insuring that plane? I think it's going to crash. You can't do that. It's more like gambling then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So it's very akin to, it would be akin to gambling if it was that free that you could just insure anything. I mean, you can insure for the end of the world. You can insure for what you like. So yeah, I think technology is big. You've got to follow it. At the moment, we're trying to get ahead of it. So we're not, trying to do it before other people do it, just so that we can, just be different really. And also, it works like, if you look at Portal, that's like 4 staff. Yeah. So all the people ring up and go, what information do you want on this unoccupied building? We'll just go on the portal. Yeah. All these things. Do you need to know what alarm it is? Well, go on the portal. Because if you complete the portal, you've done the job. It's not that bad. Yeah, if you know what you're doing, 5 minutes to get a property on there, probably 15 minutes to get a commercial combined. So it's not that it's intense. It's, do you know what you're trying to insure?
Yeah.
Do you or not? And if you don't, it will just tell you don't. So you're not wrapping up myself. Yeah. By the time you press refer, it pings to me in an email and Lee and Katie and that. And then we go, right, so what is it? Right, so it's a coffee shop with a nightclub with this, with that. Yeah. And it becomes a massive tool because we like it. It highlights in yellow what we won't like. Quite an old building, so it goes yellow. And everything we wouldn't like about it is highlighted. Yeah. So, and we get a list up the top, things you won't like.
Yeah. It knows, but it's learned probably to get
and
to
it's
that
just
stage.
linking up to mapping. They're a bit slow, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what that does, it tells me if it's in a flood area, bad theft area,
Crime risk,
storm,
whatever it might be.
Yeah. It does the things that you need to check. So that will go fire. It shows me all my perils. So if you've got flooded, red.
Yeah.
That's a bad flood area.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do? So can we look a bit deeper? If you want it, we might have to get it, but we're going to have to do some bigger checks on this. Something wrong with it.
Say, for example, if it's like a set of properties on Southend or next to the coast, then obviously bigger flood risks. That will flag up straight away.
It does sanctions checks. So it tells me if you're on the sanctions list. It does everything. So really, all the things that you used to have to do manually, forget about before Google. I don't know how you do a sanctions check before Google. I think that would be ringing up, after going down the library and then trying to read
pages.
Up. Yeah, the pages. That'd be something. Or you get the government to send you a list by post, which never turned up.
Yeah.
All the things that when I started, I mean, mine was a phone fax. Yeah. So if I was on the phone, it would be engaged. So you can't fax me. So I'd be like, mate, so I'm trying to get on and off. That's how you start business. And then you end up, I end up with 17 staff. You've all got phones. You've all got, email. You've got this. You've got that. You've got the portal.
Various different ways to get in touch. Yeah.
And I mean, the internet's great. But again, it's one of those things I just use it for the things that I need done. And it does it very well. So it's just using the tools that I know are available. Yeah, again, we've all learned our lesson. We've dealt with companies that are not very good. And, you do get slowed down. So my previous lot who was with Troon, issuing the papers was an absolute nightmare. We had people working on it for a year and Yeah, it still wasn't very good.
Yeah.
You know, the fonts would go out and things like this, and you think, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So at least now it all works, you know, so I can focus again, because I think Troon became this thing that you got an order, you think, oh, mate, you've got to do papers now, you know, because you didn't want to do it because the old system was bad.
It's a lot of manual stuff to do as well.
A lot of manual checks, so you had to check, because the actual system was a very big system in the UK.
Yeah.
Rubbish. It just, I don't know why we got a bad spell on it, but it just didn't do the things that it should have done. So the thing with the INSI system, it does them. You know, there's just little tweaks. It will go wrong. You know, but we've got very good support. So we ring them up and say, do you know what? This shouldn't have gone wrong, shouldn't it? And then they go, oh, no, let me fix it. Yeah, we have regular meetings. Things do fall over. We're still at the honeymoon stage, really. We've only been going properly for a couple of months.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And let's say we're supposed to be 3 months, but it ends up at 14
Yeah.
to actually do the ironing out. So if you think you're going to go and do a brand new system the way you want it, unless you want something off the shelf, but what we wanted was something bespoke.
Yeah.
And best way in the world, it's never going to happen in 3 months. It's always going to be long. You know, we found that.
But
now,
you've also got, have you got claims built into the process as well? Because obviously you mentioned sanction checks and alarms, and obviously where you cover property as well.
Yeah.
Claims is probably quite a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, we outsource all our claims. We like to outsource.
Okay.
So what you find at Commercial Risk now, we only have brokers and underwriters.
Yeah.
So we have no one on the books who doesn't do insurance.
Yeah.
And then we outsource to big companies for the other bits. So your compliance, FCA, accounting, bookkeeping, they're not my stuff. But I've got dedicated stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that if one wants to go off sick or do whatever they want to do,
someone can cover
it might as well for me, because you've got 100 stuff. So just put someone else on. You know? So I don't like to have the ancillary bits in one person's hands, because ultimately they can't have a holiday. You know, and they can't get sick. You know, they can't have a baby.
Too much reliance on one person.
Yeah, you're relying on one person. You don't need, I mean, I might need 2 bookkeepers, but then I've only got one. And now if you're on holiday, I've got one. If you're sick, I've got none.
Yeah. Do
you see what I mean? So
does that apply to the finance side of things as well then?
Oh, big time. Yeah, yeah. If you're trying to pay bills.
Yeah.
And then your accountant, I've had it. You know, the bookkeeper gets sick.
In-house. So that's third party for you now as well.
Everything. Yeah, totally. I mean, they bill everything. They bill everything. So they do all of them. They do daily reconciliations and
yeah. And what about the what about the portal then? Have you got any financial visibility in the portal? Obviously, if you did have claims, it would be loss ratios, but instead of like GWP, profit and loss, perhaps. Just trying to think what else. Number of policies, number of quotes.
Yeah, it does all the MI, does it all. When we get claims listings, we update it at renewal. Some people go straight to the claims number. We don't find out about it straight away. So then you get an update prior to renewal, and then you update the portal, and it'll crunch all your numbers for you. So it does the accounting bit. It does all your P&L, your ledgers.
Oh, that's okay. So the heavy lifting is...
It does the bordereaux. Bordereaux's not in the right order, so we're still working on that, because there's not manual intervention.
Yeah. Which
is a pain, but you can't have it all. I think it's one of them things that if you want it, you can have it. You know, but there could be build time. You know, you might have to spend extra because you want it the way someone else never ask for it.
Yeah.
You know, so we are then asking for a bespoke product. Yeah. So then again, investment.
Yeah. Which is good, because obviously you want it to work for the way that your business is set up, right?
Yeah.
So that makes
as much as you can, you want press one button, don't you? In life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want
to. The easier it is, the better.
Yeah. You want to buy something, you want to buy a car, you just want the best 4x4 you can have for that money. Right, here it is. Here's the keys. See you later.
Yeah.
Life isn't like that, but as much as you can get it to be like that. Yeah. I just want to press one button. So can you make it happen? And there's certain things, if you're collating certain data, and I want it to do, I've asked for it to do certain things, and they've done it. You know, so it now does my reports the way I want it.
Yeah.
Not the way everyone else has it, because I'm used to it a certain way. And I don't like the way they've got it. So I want it that way, can I have it that way? Yeah, you can have it. You know, sometimes
you've got that
there's
flexibility then, which is good.
Yeah. But then again, you know, from here on in, I've got what I wanted.
Yeah.
You know, so that's important, because then otherwise you're suffering, aren't you? You're looking at the same day you didn't understand in the first place. You don't like the way it's set out. And you shouldn't have to live with it, should you? You should kind of say, "Well, God, but I won't like that." Good thing about it is that you can have what you like. You can say, "I want it to I want this information here and I want that there and we'll put all that in place. All right. Don't know why you want it, but yeah, you can have it.
Yeah.
We know why we want it. So
it's probably better than, for example, other providers that are quite rigid and it's like kind of, here you go, this is what you've got to work with it. And that's kind of the end of it, really. So.
Yeah, that's right. They said, well, the program's set.
Yeah.
We bought it off the shelf. Great.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the bigger ones will do what you want. But one of them did quote me, you're not Towergate, you can't have it. It was something like that, which is pretty stink. And this is why we fell out, because I know I'm not Towergate. Why are you sending the product to smaller brokers then?
Yeah.
You know it was a Towergate when you took me on, and now you're telling me I can't have that because I'd have to spend, what, £1 million a year or something? So that's bad service for me. So
and that's where you started shopping around, basically.
Yeah. Just thought, well, your product ain't great.
Yeah.
we need to move. And we did.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And then there might be some other people who are kind of in your position, or the position that you were in, maybe, let's say, when you were 30 and you were setting up or starting out, for example. What bit of advice would you give to them if they were to do the same thing today?
Yeah, just don't lie. I mean, don't cheat. Just do it. Buy the book. Be honest. I've been in the position so many times where you feel like, oh, mate, this is so close. Your reputation is everything. So
don't cut any corners.
Don't cut corners. I've got with presentations, 28 pages. I've got people ready to stamp it. I go, oh, don't do that. Pay 17, mate. It's bad. They've got pay 17. Don't stamp it yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to underwrite in JLT 3 times a week and twice a week, and stuff you see. I mean, it's a brilliant broker, but again, there's very bad risks. Mm-hmm. So we learn to speed underwrite on the spot. Yeah. So you've got 50 risks because you've got 1 hour. What, mate? And then you get one in there, it's like 40 pages, and you go, I'm not doing that one today. No, I'm not, because if you give me something like that, I'm not going to be able to just sit here, mate, and do it. But just give me ones that on a proper presentation, summary of what I need. Don't give me 12 pages on the fire report, because I'm going to have to read that, aren't I? So just, so I'd be like that with my underwriting. So I won't go into Lloyd's and I'm broken in there. I'd say things you ain't going to like. So I'll tell you straight, I won't waste your time. Page 2, page 4, page 6. All bad. There's nothing good about it. But we can do it like this. Yeah. So my main advice is be honest, because your reputation will follow you. If you tend to stretch your imagination or lie, or you
get caught out very quickly.
You get caught out. One person, everyone catch you out. The people here ain't silly. They've seen it all. They've seen every trick in the book. I get people trying to do it to me all day long. Pull the ball over your eyes, you see a risk, and they see it the next day under another name. Very naive, isn't it? And you think, you mental. This isn't going to work. Our relationship ain't going to work like this. Yeah. So, you try and tell them straight, and this ain't going to work. Yeah. But most people realise that if you're going to be in this industry, you've got to be in it for the long stretch.
Long term, yeah.
Yeah. You ain't coming in here and making big money. And, most people in insurance that are making money have got grey hair. Yeah. Because they've been for it. They've felt the pain to learn, because there's a lot to learn. It's like picking up the old yellow pages, like you said earlier, and knowing every single trade has something different about it. Yeah. From A to Z.
And that's part of the journey, isn't it?
Yeah. Every single risk. So you've got a roofer. What's he do? Well, he drops things on people's heads, or he falls off a building, or something happens to a certain trade that you need to know what's wrong with a nightclub. We insure more nightclubs than most people. We do. Yeah. Just do loads. And we've got an exclusive scheme. You can't really touch us because we properly look at it, properly underwrite it, and we're quite flexible. Yeah. We know the ones that are bad. I ain't going to do them. They won't do them. But we'll do the ones that are pretty bad. Yeah. But there's something quite nice about it. It's got good reviews. It's all right. It's not that bad. So, we'll do it. We've ended up with loads. Yeah. Especially after lockdown, because lockdown, who wants to insure an empty nightclub? No one. No one at all. No one. No. Yeah.
We don't want to take on that
risk.
We
did about 300.
Yeah. Oh, right.
So we took them all. But then when they opened, unfortunately, touch wood, none of them burnt down. Yeah. Because that was a worry. Nightclub owner, got £3 million building, can't open it, ain't making no money anymore. They burn it and get his money out, because no one's going to buy it off you either, are they?
That is the risk, isn't it? Yeah.
That's the risk. You don't want to burn it, ain't you? So no one did. So when they opened up, they said, I love you to pieces for looking after us when no one else would.
Then it was worth a while.
And now we're all on the books. So the premium's double, because you've got the property and the liability. Yeah. And you've got a great relationship with that person, because they know that if something hits the fan, who's going to be there? Well, we're going to be here. And I've got about 4 other people that do it anyway, because we're now known for doing high risk high risk trades.
Yeah. So it's like what you said is you benefit in the long term. So obviously you took that decision in mind, and now kind of maybe 4 or 5 years on, you've kind of seen the dividends of that, which is really
because with the rationale, you've got to think about what you're going to do and why you're going to do it. And why you're going to do it because you'd be stupid to try and burn down the nightclub now.
Yeah.
We're going to do it. Put petrol in the basement. How can do it?
Yeah.
Forensics are good now.
Yeah.
In the old days, your CCTVs weren't turned off all of a sudden, did it?
Yeah.
You know, all the things that are in place stopped them from doing it, didn't it? Because that's the old days. 20 years ago, you burn that straight away. And, you find get claims coming in. Oh, mate, I've had 5 claims this week on fire. Yeah. Most people think it's not worth it.
Different
because number one, my building's gone. Yeah. No, insurance didn't pay, and I go to prison.
So, that's a big risk for them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big risk for them. More risk for you than me because you know, and it did work out that way. Touch wood. I mean, it still hasn't recovered. The industry the leisure industry hasn't recovered totally. And it's not so many people going out spending, but they're certainly close to where they were. Post COVID, some of the smaller ones are gone.
Yeah,
but they're making good money. They're doing well, and they survived. Yeah, but without insurance, without us there at that time, what would have happened?
Them,
we made the solution. That's what we do. We did it for Ofsted. Ofsted inspectors couldn't find a solution to what they needed. We did it for them.
Wow.
We do it for various things. We've done timber trays. We've done loads of different things in the past. Yeah. Schools. When you look at schools, became academies. No one could insure it. We did.
Wow.
So we got 8 insurers. And basically just said we'll have to break it up.
And now look at the growth of academies as well.
Yeah. So we've got a nice book now, schools.
Wow.
Again, there's another thing that people don't always think to come to us for. But we're good at that.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah. And also, church, we do a massive building, which a big insurer couldn't do. Had it 3 months.
Yeah.
And it's coming off. And we had 3 days. I did it in 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's 100 million sum assured.
That speed then really makes a difference, doesn't it?
I get 5 people to do it, so I'll break it all up for you. I'll do it as you would like it.
Yeah.
And you've got big brokers, much, almost like a billion, and they're sitting on it. And because the people they're dealing with it don't know what they're bloody doing, they don't tell anyone. So it's like sitting there going, what am I going to do? So I get a call and so I can do that.
Yeah. Instead of them wasting time.
I found a solution for you. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, we'll look at anything. We do some overseas cyber. We do for banks. We do betting company in Gibraltar. Mm-hmm. Do their DNO. So random risks. We've got some stock in Hong Kong for this guy's got some stock in Hong Kong. So anything weird, anything where you think, mate, I'm going to do that. The thing, one of the guys, one of our brokers, and he said, it's a job for commercial risks.
Yeah.
It's a pig it over his ass.
Well, it's a very creative way to handle what other people don't want to do, to be honest. So
but it's like retention rate is good then, isn't it? Because realistically, who else is going to want it?
Yeah.
We've probably found you a solution, the only one that you're going to get.
Yeah.
So,
No, that makes sense.
But we're fair with it. We don't try and cream the premiums. They may be more expensive.
Yeah.
They may be 20% more than what you think you want to pay. That's life, isn't it? Because realistically, this is, we could go mental. Some people are at the moment.
Yeah.
Their philosophy is charge the earth because no one else wants it.
Yeah.
That's quite cold.
Mm.
And
then say if you had to kind of fast forward, we're in 2025 now. Say we fast forwarded to 2030, for example.
Yeah.
How would you see kind of commercial risks and Troon kind of evolve to that next stage? If you had to just had
I think I am looking at the future. I am because I've reinvented Troon. Yeah. Troon was kind of like sluggish. We weren't doing much, but I see Troon as being big because realistically, if you have a scheme of business, let's say you've got £2 million scheme with an insurer, QBE. Yeah. Everything seems all right about it, but there's bits I don't like about it. You can give it to me, and I'll give you a code. You just drop it in. Mm-hmm. It takes all the information, chucks it in, gives you a price 20% less than this.
Yeah. Wow.
You see, so I'd like to get some schemes on it.
Yeah.
I'd roll it in and do that. And so pretty much that's it.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think the pull to the AI, the growth, the development of that is going to be big, but not take away from the broking. Yeah.
Amazing. James, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been a pleasure to have you on. And thank you to our listeners for watching all the way to the end as well. If you do have any questions for James, please pop them in the comments. And James, again, thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure. Yeah, lovely.
Awesome. Cheers.
Thank you.
There we go.